Hi, this is Dr. Rebecca Wood, and I would like to welcome you to the Week 8 lecture. This week we are going to talk about poetry and the march forward as we review the 8 weeks we've worked together. So we are wrapping up the term, and I thank you all for your hard work and dedication to the class. I know very well that it's never easy to get everything done in 8 weeks, but here we are, almost finished. And so I've truly enjoyed working with all of you and reading your discussion board posts and papers. I feel like I've learned a lot from reading what you've given me to read, and I hope that you feel that you've learned from the class. This is a checklist of some last minute items because we want to make sure we get everything done before the end of the class. So please check your SLU email daily for messages from me or the School for Professional Studies. Our final exam is due by Saturday, December 15th, and so it's due by 1 minute till midnight, and this is the last day of our class, so there will not be time for extensions of the deadline. If there's an extreme emergency, please let me know, but we do want to get all the grades turned in, and if anyone's getting ready to graduate, we want to make sure that we don't have any problems with that. So all eligible revisions are due by noon on Saturday, December 15th. So that gives me a little extra time to get the revisions graded carefully, and the revision grades take the place of the original grade. If you have a paper that was eligible for revision, you should have received an email about it. If you have any questions about whether your paper might be eligible for revision or any questions about revising, please email me at rebeccawood@slu.edu. And since we have a final exam this week, there is no quiz. So this week's poetry, we're going to complete our studies with poetry by James Weldon Johnson, Priscilla Jane Thompson, Paul Laurence Dunbar, and Claude McKay. And one of the very best things about poetry is its ability to create images in our minds, sometimes with very few words, like a haiku, which is a very short poem. And poetry is like a mirror or maybe a snapshot of a moment in history. And I will have to admit to a fondness for poetry because some of it is so beautiful and some of it is really kind of snarky, and I just love it. So I hope that you take some time in your future to explore some more poetry. So this week we discussed James Weldon Johnson, and his great poem or song, Lift Every Voice and Sing, is full of inspirational lines, and I especially like these lines here. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. And you'll notice when you use a long quote, you put the citation after the period, which is a little different. And this literary work has lifted spirits for generations, and I found a really nice version of that work in song that you could look at in the lecture and resources folder, and I hope you enjoy it. And then we had poetry by Priscilla Jane Thompson, and she made important points about standards of beauty in love poetry that left out the oft-slighted Afric maids. She continued in the Muse, her poem dedicated to the Ethiop maid who possessed sweet, refined, retiring grace, and sunshine lingering in thy face, with eyes bedewed with tears. This poem explores and provides an answer for the yearning for recognition and respect that we all have felt at times. And Paul Laurence Dunbar, his poem, We Wear the Mask, highlights the necessity for oppressed people to hide their true feelings in order to survive. He wrote, We smile, but O great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. And then I found a wonderful YouTube video of Maya Angelou and a poem that she built upon this powerful poem for her own The Mask, a reading of which can be seen in the lecture and resources folder. And so I hope that as you're reading your poetry, you could consider reading the entire poems out loud. I think you really get much more of a feel of how the poetry works when you hear it with your ears as well as see it with your eyes. And then we had poetry this week by Claude McKay, and he wrote the poem If We Must Die, asking for people to have courage, to be brave in the face of danger and adversity, which of course, as we know, is not easy. And in the poem he said, "If we must die, oh let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain." And his work contributed to the fabulous era of creativity known as the Harlem Renaissance. So he was part of that exciting time that you may have heard of and may want to study some more in your future. So what can we add? We have spent this entire term studying the lives of people who have done great things, as well as people who have endured unimaginable hardships, and sometimes it was the same people. And as we go forward, think about how you and I could make the world a better place for everyone. And I do wish you all the best as you find your path through history and make history. So take care, and I hope you experience health, happiness, and success. Thank you very much for taking this class and for taking this journey with me. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh yes, one more thing, sorry. This is our Works Cited page, so always be careful when you're doing a presentation to remember where you're ending. So take care. God bless. Bye-bye.